This is Virgil Ortiz, and you're watching REED-BBS.
REED-BBS, BBS. You gotta go facts over feelings sometimes. Fuck how you feel, who you like, who you root for. It's about the information that's provided. So let's proceed. I'm not quite sure what's what these days with JARON Boots ENNIS. I'm not. I don't know what's real. I don't know what's Memorex. But the timeline, what we do know is the timeline don't lie. Let's begin. Virgil Ortiz Jr., JARON ENNIS have reached verbal agreement. Hell, before we could get excited or really sink our teeth into this pairing, we learned the fight wasn't happening because of a weight discrepancy. Which brings me to Eddie Hearn. And I quote, the only reason we initially talked about the Ortiz fight, we were told that it could be at 147. We don't have a problem moving to 154, but when we do it, we'll probably lose our championship. So at the same time, if it's not Ortiz, it has to be unification. But JARON wants to be in big fights, and the Ortiz fight is a big fight in Saudi, and we'll see again. So this saga, to me, it reeks of Eddie Hearn's involvement in the Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder negotiations way back in the day, 2018. It reminds me exactly of that. Back when both men were undefeated, they held every heavyweight title between the two of them. Negotiations fell through, and literally led to Joshua and Matchroom Proper signing an exclusive rights deal with DAZN instead. In other words, it was a disingenuous, bad faith dealing by Eddie Hearn, which killed any and all Joshua versus Wilder talk to this day. All the while, Virgil Ortiz versus Imantas Stanionis didn't happen because of Virgil's difficulties making 147 pounds, an experience that literally landed my man in a hospital. And this was a year and a half, 2 years ago. 2 years ago. So someone needs to full court press the shit out of Eddie Hearn, ask him who specifically said Boots versus Verge had a prayer of a chance of taking place at 47. We got to know. Name names, motherfucker. Where the dead bodies? And name names. Who told you that, Eddie? And until Eddie Hearn reveals that name specifically, I and the rest of the boxing world should rightfully call bullshit. Smell like bullshit, look like bullshit, it's bullshit. Verge, he took a lot of flack over that Stanionis episode. Oh, he's unprofessional. He never intended to fight. He don't want to smoke, da-da-da. So it's only natural Verge was quick to share his thoughts on the Boots fight falling apart. And I quote, I've always said I'll fight anybody, and I remain true to my word. Every single person that I have been offered to fight, I said yes. It takes two to tango in boxing. So if I'm not in that ring fighting someone, no, it's not my fault. Time for some of you guys to stop saying I'm ducking and don't want to fight, because that's not the case this time and never was. Strong words, Verge. Hey, I applaud it too. Fuck that. Say it, Verge. Say it with your chest, man. Say it with your chest. Meanwhile, Boots attempted some damage control himself, releasing the following statement. And I quote, I saw the rumors on social media just like y'all did, as far as the fight with me and Virgil. I was unaware that alleged negotiations were being made on my end. From here on out, if it didn't come from me and me only, don't believe it. And I will address if I'm staying at 147 or moving up to 154 at a later date and time. Okay. While I'm glad he said something, Boots really said nothing. Not much of anything. Now, the me and only me part, that insinuates Boots is not just mad at Eddie Hearn for getting him into this. He's probably mad at his manager, too. His father, Bozian, is probably mad at both of them. Still, With all that said, still, okay, you want to take a firmer grasp, a firmer hold of your career, I get that. But there's still no confirmation one way or the other on a Verge fight. And if you wanted it, you'd have said it then, Boots. You could have said it then. But you didn't say it, bro. You didn't speak it into existence. That said, like it, love it, loathe it, Virgil Ortiz has officially become a blemish, a shit stain on the otherwise spotless career of JARON Boots Ennis. He's a shit stain. He's a blemish now. He is. And until he actually signs and faces him, Boots got his card pulled by Verge. It pains me to say that. Virgil Ortiz pulled your card, bruh. You can't be the boogeyman. You can't be the so-called guy nobody wants to face and then duck a willing dance partner. It doesn't work that way, dog. The first words out of Boots' mouth in his Karen 2 post-fight, he spoke of the difficulties of staying at 47. So why is 54 suddenly a problem? I don't get it. If bigger, more meaningful fights and the challenges of staying motivated for lesser opponents, if that's a real-ass thing, the way Boots said it's a real-ass thing, then why isn't Boots jumping at the chance to face Virgil Ortiz? Like, make it make sense, y'all. I don't get it. This level of fallout is real-life, hardcore, tangible boxing pressure being applied to Boots Ennis. Unrelenting pressure being applied. The impact of a man named Karen and the fallout is what we're witnessing. You're only as good as your last performance, bruh. Stay tuned. JARON Boots Ennis, he has to fight his way out of this. It's bad, man. Right now, it's bad. Things can change. This too shall pass. But right now, the shit is bad. I think Boots can fight his way out of this. I hope Boots can fight his way out of this, but actions speak louder than words, bruh. Henceforth, forthwith, and indubitably. REED-BBS, BBS. Blackbird Sugar, Bachelor's in Boxing Studies. Television! Fred Sanford of the Fistic Arts. When all is said and done, there's nothing left to say